All right, welcome in everybody. Fresh edition of Fresh Takes with Russo and Felice. Yeah, fresh edition of Russo and Felice with Fresh Takes. Week off, now we're back. I am Paul Russo. Across from me, as always, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Nick Felice. Nick, how you doing? You nice change of pace. Hood's not up today. That means you're feeling semi-warm compared to usual times.
Yeah, semi-warm. You know, I'm doing good, Paul. I mean, yeah, you can't hate that weather we had on Sunday. A little premature for this time of year, but we deserved it because it's been, below average for a while now. So, yeah, I enjoyed that. Did you enjoy yourself? What did you do on Sunday?
Sunday, what did I do? NASCAR.
Did you ever get outside?
Yeah, I went, got my car washed. That's pretty much it. Was going to clean out my car, but figured I'd hold off on that until closer to going to Richmond. So,
yeah, I went to the Carrier Dome.
Yeah.
Covered.
That's right. You were part of the entourage at that game.
Yeah, covered lacrosse. First time I've been at the Carrier Dome since it got redone.
Mm-hmm.
It looks cool. Cool scoreboard. Did you know they do little things in between, the timeouts at the lacrosse game as well? They had
No.
They have the chair, like you shoot in the basket, the chair, whatever, and whatever games they play. But in lacrosse, they tried it. These two kids tried to, what do you call it, whip the lacrosse ball? I don't know.
Shoot.
Shoot
the lacrosse ball.
Shoot the lacrosse ball in the corner of the nets. So, and it was awful. They did not come close, but. It was a great effort by the kids, but yeah, enjoyed being at the Carrier Dome. It was a good time. Got to sit in the press box and got to get down where the interviews are done after the post game.
How did you? So it's been a while. I have been in the press box once during a tour of the dome, like way back in the day.
Well, you've been in the suite, right?
I've been in the executive suite. Yeah.
It's pretty much that.
Okay. Good to know.
It's literally that, except it's the press box. There's a lot more seats.
Right.
So, yeah, it's pretty much that.
Could you tell they do any renovations in there, or was it just,
when I went to the executive suite before they did it, and I don't know, it looked pretty similar to that. So, I don't know. Obviously, it was my first time in the press box, so I'm going to say not too much, if they did any. But, yeah, got to ride the elevator. Pretty cool.
I can honestly say that I don't think I've ever been in a Carrier Dome elevator before.
It's your standard elevator. But
I figured.
Pretty much the one out in the hallway here. But, big news today in the NFL. A lot going on. We thought Adam Schefter was a little slow, today, not getting the Aaron Rodgers news out. But, man, he was just sleeping all day on that Russell Wilson news. That was pretty big.
Yeah, I don't know if he was exactly sleeping on it, but, yeah, how's Matt? How's Matt doing? How's he feeling?
He is all right.
Mm-hmm.
He is not taking it too good.
Well,
he does think they got a lot for him, but
yeah, so much that you get to keep Pete Carroll, who was definitely not the problem.
But he's hoping baseball comes back tonight. Which I don't know.
And that, yeah, okay. Good luck with that, Chief. Anyway. College basketball, Masked Singer, and Nick. So we'll preface this topic right now a little bit. Nick, every year on his social channels, how long now? It's been probably about what, five or so years, right? Give or take. At least since you've been in college, I think, right?
Well, you want me to give the whole backstory?
Do a short version right now.
This is the fourth time I've ever done it.
I thought it was like the fifth.
It has been 5 years.
Okay.
But I didn't do it 1 year.
Okay, gotcha. So anyway, Nick does a food bracket every March. It's his version of March Madness where we the people get to vote on his bracket. And this year in particular has sparked outrage in the early showings.
Well, you've only known a couple because you know the people. I've been getting some serious hate.
No. I know. So we're going to go through the bracket. Maybe not all of it, but certainly some of it. And look, even to me, there's some very glaring omissions. One in particular.
Before we move on, you got to keep in mind it is a 64-4 food bracket.
Yeah, you did go. I mean, Nick goes 64 deep in these every year.
Well, 32. This is the first time I've gone 64.
I thought you went 64 last year.
Nope. So this is big. This is a big deal this year, and it was still flipping hard.
Yeah.
There's just too many food in this world, and then there's like, I don't know. I'll get into it.
Yeah, we'll dive into it and have some fun tonight. It's gonna be a fun one. I don't know how long we'll really go tonight, but it's gonna be a fun one.
You never do know.
Let's start, obviously, college basketball. Tourney hoop season right now this week. Couple tickets already punched. Shout out Chattanooga.
I got to ask.
Shout out Longwood. Sure.
Have you heard about what conference? It just ended today. It was some conference that Bellamare won.
Bellamaria.
They won it.
Yes.
But they're like new to Division I, so they have to wait 4 years to ever get an automatic bid.
I don't think that's the exact rule anymore. I think it's just a year to wait.
Well, they can't get in this year.
Really?
And they just won their conference.
Are they SoCon?
Yes, I think that is. I think that's the one.
Okay.
So they won their conference tournament tonight.
Yeah, they're SoCon because they beat Jacksonville.
Which I think is kind of crazy that they can play in the conference tournament.
Right.
But anyway, they won it tonight over Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And Jacksonville beat Jacksonville State in the semifinals.
Right.
But guess who's going to the tournament?
Probably Jacksonville State or Jackson State.
Jacksonville State, because they're the regular season champ.
Right.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, that's some of those teams I do bet on fairly regularly. So
Jacksonville just beat Jacksonville State in
the Dolphins. Yeah, I mean, Bellarmine was actually one of the teams really a couple of years ago when they first got into Division I that we were going against no matter the spread. But it's an interesting program. I think too, like we would bet the over on them. This year they were started off on the awful list and then kind of rose up really weirdly. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of shifting going on around college sports right now. I mean, I think the main one obviously is getting focused on the football side, and that's where you see a lot of it happening. But I mean, those teams are also going to be playing in the other sports. You know, James Madison with CUSA and the CUSA trying to keep their teams in before they jump ship next year. Yeah, I mean, football, like, I know in football there's only a 1 year wait. I thought basketball shifted to that as well, but I guess not. I'm not a big fan of the wait anyway. I mean, if they grant you acceptance in, I mean, I think I think you should be allowed in no matter what. But I mean, the NCAA is the National Communist Association or National Communists Against Athletes, so
yeah.
Do you, baby boo? Look, so this is, I know, Nick, this is one of your favorite times of year. You know, I think you prefer the former 24 hours of basketball first and foremost.
I miss that.
But March Madness is a close second.
Yes.
But before we get into fully this, I did want to take a couple minutes so we can pay our respects to Coach K.
Oh, yeah.
All of that for the biggest L in college basketball history. That felt fantastic. I was at a bar in Rochester at the end of that game, and part of me felt bad for this couple, part of me did not.
Were they Duke fans?
Yes, so one of them was wearing a Seth Curry jersey. Or I don't know who else has been 30 in recent memory for Duke, but I'm calling it a Seth Curry jersey. And just like, you know, it felt really gratifying to see this dude just pissed off and walk out of the bar mad with his girl, who was also mad. Because...
Well, did you see? It was like after the Cowboys got eliminated.
Yeah.
Everyone was crying.
I mean, it was so great. It was so great. The Cameron Crazies, their tears tasted like sugar falling from a tree or whatever. I mean,
I'm pretty sure they were sitting out for weeks for this game.
It was fantastic. It was fantastic. What are your thoughts on that before we get back into tournament talk? Because, by the way, I'm with you. Your boy Bray is getting robbed because they're going to give Coach K the honorary freaking BS award.
Yeah. This
year. So
yeah, I mean, I don't know if Bray should have won Coach of the Year. In my opinion, obviously, because I'm a fan, but
did anybody have Notre Dame to win or be competitive?
Wake Forest is definitely a good coach, Steve Forbes.
Mm-hmm.
But Coach K to even get votes is ridiculous. The team he has this great team this year. Well, he has a great team every year, and they underperform most of the time. So honestly,
and their alleged best player shouldn't even been playing.
Nope. And it's just I think he's one of the most. I hate to say it. I wish I was on a big network. And no offense to Finger Lakes One, but I wish I was on ESPN right now, and I would say Coach K is the most overrated coach in college basketball. I think he is. I mean, I think Tony Bennett is 10 times the coach he is. Jim Boeheim's always been a better coach. I mean, Jim Boeheim's got 5 Final Fours.
Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves.
I'm just saying. I think I would take Jim Boeheim. He's done imagine if Jim Boeheim had the players he had all these years. I don't know. They underperformed. I mean, for the team he has this year is supposed to be championship or bust. I mean, but still, I mean, he got the 1 seed. They had a good regular season, but I don't know. It's just North Carolina. That is the ultimate silencer right there. To get that win. And I think the difference in that game was the final minutes of the first half when North Carolina and Duke looked like they might have started pulling away early. But North Carolina made it a 2-point game at halftime, so I thought that was the difference. And I kept North Carolina in it mentally and physically by the score. And, they played well and ran out of the building with the win. And it was great. Coach K, I think, is probably one of the biggest, sorest losers you'll ever see as a coach. It's never the other team wins. It's always Duke loses when they do lose. And I know he shook hands, but who was it? Nolan Smith?
I don't think it was Nolan Smith, but yeah.
But that's just childish not to shake hands. Especially, we've had a lot of ever since that Michigan-Wisconsin game. It's been shaking hands has been interesting in college basketball.
Well, I mean, it's amazing it's the bias more than anything else, I suppose, in that sense. You know what I mean?
But you got to remember, just because Coach K is leaving, you got to remember these two are bitter rivals. North Carolina hates Duke and Coach K, and Coach K hates North Carolina. I mean, that's why it's one of the best rivalries in all of sports. So, I mean, you can't be upset that North Carolina didn't show them any respect.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, basically, look at what Duke did. Not to say what the festivities they had planned, but to plan him to have a speech after the game, I think was a little.
Oh, that's awful timing, by the way. I don't know who did that, but that's Sport Management 101. You do not.
Well,
do not do that.
They're just so cocky. They thought they were going to win the game,
mm-hmm.
and you do that before the game and let them just walk off and have a little salute to the fans. Let them do all the talking and all that stuff before the game, but they just thought
that's the thing. They showed
they were going to win.
Yeah,
11-point favorite, whatever they were. Duke.
By the way, I feel bad. I feel bad here for a second.
No one feels bad for Duke.
I feel bad for the Herbs out here who really were just Duke all day, and UNC getting 11.5 is the easiest cover of all time. But no, you Herbs thought that Duke was just going to roll because of Coach K's last game. I hate Coach K. I hate Duke. I still hate Leitner. Leitner can come in my Twitter freaking DMs again if he wants.
He went into him, huh?
No, I was just a mention, but he can come in these DMs this time if he wants to smoke.
He mentioned you? What did he say?
So when the 30 for 30 came out in 2014 or whatever it was, the I hate Christian Leitner. I hate Christian Leitner. I still hate Christian Leitner or whatever, right? And I didn't tag him, nothing. It was just, Christian Leitner. He comes sliding in, something about oh, whatever, I hate you too, or something like that. All of a sudden, you got the Duke fanboy brigade coming into my freaking mentions. It's and the one that sticks out to me still is he has a NBA career, one-time All-Star, beautiful wife, beautiful children. Yeah, I'd hate that too. I'm yeah, that's exactly what I hate. Not the false portrayal of how he grew up and the falsehood of Duke. Are you kidding me? The way he threw teammates under the bus? Screw that.
It's why Michael Benajay is the best Syracuse player of all time. Left Duke to come to the Qs.
I don't know about that, but yeah, he's up there for that reason. All right, let's get back to the actual stuff here. All right, Nick. Let's so we got 1, 2, 3. We have 6 tickets already punched.
I believe
and we did get the conferences wrong on Bellamere, Mar, whatever you want to call them.
Conference is it?
So they're in the A-Sun.
The A-Sun.
However, the first ticket punched is one of the great dark horses in the tournament in Murray State, the racers out of the Ohio Valley Conference. Big South, Longwood. Missouri Valley, Loyola. Sister Jean's back.
That magic is Sister Jean.
The Sun Belt, Georgia State, Southern Chattanooga with that fantastic marches back moment. And then Southern, the SoCon, is Chattanooga. And then the A-Sun is Jacksonville State, which is where we were discussing earlier.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
I think there's 32 conferences.
Today we have 1, 2, 3. Need to get the mouse here. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 more conferences are punching tickets right now as we speak or later on.
Yeah, Gonzaga.
The Colonial, the Horizon, the NEC, the Summit, and the West Coast. And then tomorrow, the Patriot is the only one punching tickets tomorrow. So.
You were over for that Gonzaga St. Mary's game, right?
Yeah. I left.
Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah, what? I was there the whole time.
Yeah.
That was painful. I lost a lot of money.
What do you think tonight's game is going to be like?
I don't know. That's going to be a good one. I think the line is only at like 10 or so, or it might be 11, but...
Yeah, I know.
I'd like to think Gonzaga's not gonna.
That was awful.
That one is another one where it's gonna be. I hope the live line is much more friendly, kind of like the similar game. But then Gonzaga's able to just pull away, so that's where I'm kind of hoping there anyway. Yeah. Other than that, pretty much everybody punches their tickets on Saturday, except of course.
There's a few on Sunday.
Oh, yeah. There's more on Sunday now than ever before. I didn't realize that. There's 5. There's 5 of them on Sunday now.
I know the Big Ten.
Ivy, A10, SEC, American, and Big Ten. So, all right.
Big Ten's usually like right before Selection Sunday.
The SEC I thought was, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's all weird. I give up.
ACC started today.
Right, yeah.
With the embarrassing first round.
Oh, no, that was not embarrassing. See, I can't believe, I don't mean to play you on blast here. I can't believe you really thought Pitt was going to beat BC.
I did.
You poor soul.
That's it. I mean, all 3 of these games today are pretty much toss-ups. Yeah, I put money on Pitt today, and that did not go well. And I should know that. Boston College has played great at times. I shouldn't say great, good. Good at times, but, first round, Notre Dame's played in that first round plenty of times, and this year it's really bad because the conference is down, and it happens still. The games still go on, but tomorrow should be a little bit better. Starting off with the Cuse. I will be pulling for the Cuse tomorrow. I would like to see him get a shot at Duke on Thursday afternoon at noon. And then you push a lot of bubble action tomorrow for the ACC. Not only with, Florida State Cuses. I mean, not Cuse because they just couldn't win a game at the end of the year. Tough schedule. But Florida State outside shot at the bubble. Outside shot to get into the bubble. But the 3 bubble teams, Wake Forest, Virginia Tech, and Virginia, all play tomorrow. So if one of them don't win tomorrow, then their bubble is popped, in my opinion. So it's crazy to think that we could still get a shot at 7 teams in the ACC to make the tournament. But right now it's looking like 4 locks, which are the 4 double byes: North Carolina, Duke, Notre Dame, and Miami. But Virginia Tech, Virginia, and Wake Forest. I think Wake Forest is in, but Virginia Tech and Virginia have to win tomorrow. But Wake Forest losing to Boston College would be awful. But we'll find out tomorrow. Tomorrow's a big ACC bubble day. And if you're a Cuse fan, which I don't know how I'm going to confirm this tomorrow, but as a former Minders Academy student, I remember, going through my whole
Pembridge Farms remembers.
I just going through your whole middle school and high school life. Syracuse tend to always play that noon game.
And guess what?
And teachers would put that game on.
Shout out Mr. Major.
Yes, he was number one at it. But does he put that game on tomorrow? Can anyone confirm that to me?
Look, I'm not going to say that we know people, but look, sources, people, if we know you know, let us know.
I get if they play Duke.
I'm more intrigued by
100%. He's putting the Duke Syracuse game.
I don't want to interrupt, but I want to know if it's still the wheelie TVs that they have to. I mean, I know it's not, but part of me really wants to imagine in 2022 they still have to go grab the TVs from like the IT room.
When I was thinking about if they do it, that's the TV. I remember them doing TV in my head right now.
Bill.
100%. If they play Duke on Thursday, it's going to be on at Minders Academy. I want to know if the Florida State Syracuse game is going to be on tomorrow.
Yes.
Syracuse.
I think yes.
You think so? This is one of the worst Syracuse teams they've ever had.
Yeah, but I mean it's tradition.
It is tradition.
I don't know.
Why do they always play?
I'm off that narcotic. I've been off that narcotic all year. So
my goodness, you have to go back. If someone can look up the history, they've played so many Big ACC games
at noon. I remember being so happy one time when they had a 2:00, and then only to find out, because this is typically the first week of spring practices as well for spring sports, only to be completely disheartened to know that we had like a baseball practice at 3:00.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, neat, okay, but
yeah, good memories, but. Someone get on the horn and confirm it tomorrow if they are watching the Syracuse Florida State game in school tomorrow.
All right, so
what are your thoughts on the Qs? They winning tomorrow?
Nah, I don't know. I don't know. No, I'm off that narcotic, so I stay off that narcotic. I'm saying no deal. I don't know. I mean, people are really high on them beating Florida State. But I mean, that Florida State team, obviously they split the regular season, but I mean, Leonard Hamilton always has that team usually built for the second half / postseasons. And I mean, look, it's a Leonard Hamilton coach team. I mean, they're going to be tough. They're going to be, it's going to be a very defensive game, which is where I worry about Syracuse. So I'm not liking the chances. So. I've been down on the team all year at this point, so I don't know. Maybe it's just going to 180. I don't know, but I doubt it.
They can do something, but if they were in the Garden, give them a chance. I don't know about the Barclays Center.
Yeah. Oh man, Big East got our beloved Garden. I miss the Big East. Speaking of the Big East, how about the Providence Friars?
They're not bad.
No. Yeah, I don't know what else there's really to talk about at the moment with there.
I mean, when you think of the big conference tournaments, the power conferences, and usually that's just for seeding. You don't see Boston colleges going out and winning the tournament, but it's going to be huge to see who the 1 and the 2 seeds are from these tournaments this week, and. If Duke does lose to a Florida State or a Syracuse in the quarterfinals, I don't think they're a 3 seed or 4 seed in my opinion. Ain't no top 2 seed, and it's a big week. Big 10, Big 12, SEC. They've all had great years by the rankings standards. So we'll see who rises to the top and wins these tournaments. And because you win those tournaments, I think you can get a 1 seed, and literally any of them could do it. And there's a lot of teams that can win those tournaments this week. So looking forward to that. I always like that the ACC is the first one to go because they're a big conference and they end on Saturday. So they're usually always the first one to go today. You'll see some more tomorrow. So looking forward to that. I love this week, but I love next week even more. So it's going to be exciting. And did you know the women's tournament has a first 4 this year?
Oh, really? We finally caught up there. Okay.
They have a first 4 this year, starting on Wednesday and Thursday, and then they start their first round like usual on Friday and Saturday, and then Sunday, Monday.
All right.
So should be cool for the women's side, and Also, shout out women. They got Fantasy Women's NBA coming later this year as well. So check that out on ESPN.com.
All right. Speaking of checking things out, new season of The Masked Singer debuts tomorrow.
Season 7.
Good, bad, and cuddly, and in my mind, ugly. I don't know.
He's
okay.
ugly.
Well, my bad. I didn't. Let me get that back over to you. There you go.
Like this little guy.
That thing is demonic.
That's the baby mammoth. Yep.
That thing's in the cuddly?
That's a cuddly. Yep.
Oh my god.
Cyclops.
Oh gosh. I don't. Ugh. Anyway, okay. So look, this season's already in the news because of the Rudy Giuliani thing, which I'm guessing they'll probably just get out of the way tomorrow. I don't know. Apparently, this season has been the most criticized one yet in terms of who they've gotten. Look, I've been saying the past couple seasons, I think they need to switch some things up a little bit.
We're talking season 7 now.
Yeah, I think they definitely tried to do that, maybe in the wrong areas, but I don't know. I'm intrigued to see how the season goes. Obviously, this is a show that we've discussed on here a couple different times. Really, pretty much every season, I think, at this point. It certainly is one of our favorites. Usually I'm not into these type of shows, but this one caught my attention. But I think the show is officially at a crossroads at this point. The purpose of The Masked Singer, the way that I think we all understood from the Korean adaptation of it and the Japanese adaptation of it, was the purpose of The Masked Singer was, sure, you could have some professional singers on there, but it was meant to have the other pop culture stars, whether it be athletics or movies or television, show that they can sing as well. Like, you don't know who's there. I've thought in recent seasons they've gone really singer heavy with The Masked Singer. The way it sounds, they definitely did so again this year, the way it sounds. And then, like I said, apparently this cast has been pretty scrutinized in terms of it coming together. Obviously, the Giuliani stuff and that kind of weighs heavy, but I've heard the overall group, it's been pretty hit and miss. Look, Nick, this is something we talked about, kind of at the end of last season. I don't know. I think personally they need to switch up. Obviously, I think some of the judges and I don't know if they need to switch up Nick Cannon as the host. I think he does a really good job there. I don't think Nick, he tends to work really well no matter kind of where he is or who he's with. He's in a bunch of different projects with a bunch of different people, and he tends to deliver in them all. So I don't think Nick Cannon's a problem. It's no secret to you, but I'm not a big Jenny McCarthy guy. I just am not. That being said, I wouldn't mind seeing all 4 judges get swapped out at the end of the season at this point.
It'd be tough to get rid of Ken.
Yeah, I think, but maybe you don't get rid of all of them, but you got to swap some people out here at this point. The shtick between him and Jenny's kind of old. We have a working theory that they don't show Robin as often anymore because he's kind of nailing him on the head in terms of guesses. I'm kind of over Nicole thinking each song is the greatest thing she's ever heard. This is an interesting season, and look, maybe from the judges' standpoint they kill it. And, they don't need to be swapped out. I could be wrong. There's a lot of shticks that I'm just over with them. They've kind of done this now. They haven't done it in like a true try group before, like they're kind of doing it this year the way it sounds. But they've done this group setup before, and if you're going to do that, I'd prefer kind of have be a more true team concept rather than funnel them all in. at the end of the day. Well, I mean, we'll see. I don't know. I don't know what to expect. I hope they don't bring back the stupid button again. That was awful.
Awful.
On both fronts, and it's hilarious to me that people thought Ken's was going to be the worst guest, but it was Jenny, who apparently has the golden ear of life, that was extremely loud wrong. So, yeah.
Get rid of the button. First impression guesses can stay if they change up the scoring for the golden ear. If you get one right, it should be a point, and if you get a first impression guess right, it should be 2 points. It's just the scoreboard's so low because not much people get first impression guesses right, and that's extremely hard. I can't really get any of them right.
Well, I think it's just for the entertainment purpose of it, but like I'd assume have them at least be in the neighborhood. You know what I mean?
But that's another story. Every season so far, the gameplay of it, like the groups and how they do eliminations and stuff, has been different but similar in some ways. How do you think this year's going to go? I hear they're in teams, or is this groups? These aren't teams, right? These are groups.
Yeah, but they've done the group thing before. What I meant by that is, like, I'd rather them do, like, if you're going to do the group thing at this point, do, like, a team style where, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, I think we know how the season's going to play out. You're going to have the 3 groups, and you're going to funnel them in.
And in the big
Super
6 or 9.
Right.
And then they get to the finale.
Right.
But I don't know. It's going to be interesting how they do this elimination from each to week to week.
Mm-hmm.
I hope there's, the thing of you said something about, like, they're doing more singers. I mean, I like to hear good music. I think when you get a good voice in there, I would agree that, to have more singers, but we've had some surprises. People who aren't singers are actually pretty good singers. So anybody who can sing is, I think, it's a plus for the show. But this is season 7 now. I mean, when you get to season 7 of any show, any television show, when you think about it, you're thinking, like you just said, what should be changed up going forward? And if things don't change, how much longer does the show go? Are we looking at a show that's going to be, like, there's going to be a Big Brother or Survivor that's yearly going to be going on for years and years? Or are we on the back half of the end of the Masked Singer?
I think, well, I say don't switch something up. I mean, they're on the back half.
Interesting.
Should we give the people the groups, even though they're not going, they're not even going like in groups either. Like, that's the thing. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. All right, so representing the team good, I guess. I don't know. Team good, we have Armadillo, cute little cuddly thing. Firefly, McTerrier.
Can you show the screen?
I just have them as a list.
Oh,
so
no pictures.
Yeah, McTerrier, Prince. No, they don't have a hologram of Prince. And Ringmaster. The bad, we have Cyclops, Hydra, Jack in the Box, Queen Cobra, and Ram.
I like that. Ram.
And then the cuddly, we have Baby Mammoth, which was the thing Nick showed you and I'm frightened of. We have the Lemur. We have Miss Teddy. And we have Space Bunny and Thingamabob.
What?
Yes.
Thingamabob.
Yep. Now, the contestants going tomorrow are Cyclops, Firefly, McTerrier, Ram, and Thingamabob. So
is it just one group going tomorrow?
It's like they aren't even like going with their groups.
Makes me think they might be teams.
I'm utterly confused.
Well, it will be all explained tomorrow at 8 o'clock on Fox. It's Channel 6 here in Senegal Falls, Channel 7 in Geneva. Wherever you get your Fox. I don't even think a lot of people even have cable anymore, but I'm a big cable person, so it is on Channel 6 here. So check it out.
Yeah.
7 Central here in Senegal Falls.
All right, so Nick, our final topic
Yes.
of the night. your March food bracket. So I'll turn the camera over to you to start here and give us the lay of the land. You know what I mean? Maybe a little bit more in-depth background, and then we'll take a look at the bracket this year.
Well, so it all started in 1995 when I was born.
Oh God.
If you don't know, I am a huge March Madness fan. Love everything about March Madness. I mean, one of my favorite sports is college basketball. I still think baseball is number one, somehow, some way, but college basketball is right there, 1A. And I just love everything about brackets. I've been filling brackets out since I was a little boy, and I just love the idea of a bracket. It's just because it's so cool. You don't know who's gonna move on. It's not always the best two teams that go to the bracket. Usually it's always the best team that wins the tournament. But, it's just if you put the two best teams in the first round, they're going to be knocked out there. So the idea of brackets has always been cool to me. So it started in my senior year of college, 2017, and I did a bracket on my Snapchat. And I did a bracket on my Snapchat, and it was like the top 32 places to drink near Cuga College. And people really liked it, so I did it. It was like we're all, it was where all the parties and the bars and everywhere you would drink in Cuca Park, New York, in Penn Yan, but which isn't, it isn't downtown Syracuse, but it was a tournament that I did, and it went over well, and a lot of people got into it and voted, and it was pretty cool. So I did that in 2017 Snapchat, and then it wasn't until 2020. I didn't do it again. I enjoyed doing it. I've always enjoyed doing it. In 2020, when the tournament got canceled, I was like, I got to do something here. And I did an Instagram bracket, and it was wasn't the top 32. It's never the top anything. But the topic was TV shows, and, shout out to The Office went in that year in 2020. And I brought it back in 2021, and it was musical artists, and Luke Combs beat Drake in a coin flip tiebreak last year, so that was pretty cool. And this was on Instagram. This year, I'm going to do it on all my social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. So if you don't follow me, go follow me and play along. It's starting this Sunday. I'm going to do this year's topic. I think Paul said it. It's what is the best food? And I've done 64 foods, 8 regions. Looks pretty cool. I enjoy doing it. And I showed the bracket yesterday on my social medias and got a lot of love and a lot of hate yesterday.
Well, Nick, should we put the bracket up since you mentioned it?
Let's get a visual.
Here we go.
And there it is.
This is the top. We'll call it because just the way Nick sent it. So the top, these aren't obviously the top brackets, but they're the top 4 at least in terms of how they were sent.
That's how it's laid out.
Yeah,
everyone's the meat with
we have the meat and vegetable and fruit and seafoods regions here. Nick, we'll start in the meat where I have my biggest probably concern.
Yeah, I want to hear your take. What are your thoughts?
How the hell did brisket not make it? I mean, for the love of all things holy.
Well,
brisket didn't make it. I mean, pulled pork did. I mean, I'm sorry. I have to say it, and I get blasted on this daily. It feels like steak's the most overrated food out there, hands down. Steak's overrated.
Wow.
Okay, it's freaking hamburger, people. If you want to eat freaking a hamburger, eat a hamburger. Don't act all privy with your fork and knife with your steak.
Well, I also put yesterday foods that just missed a cut and
what? Wait, I just realized something. What's sea urchin?
Sea urchin. Sea urchin.
Who the hell eats sea urchins?
That's why it's an 8 seed, Paul. Well, as a history of doing these brackets. It's not the top 8 foods. I always, unless the group's really good.
Wait a second. You didn't put like salmon or something there. You put sea urchins.
Well, I always like to do kind of a joke.
Oh, I see salmon. But cod or perch or walleye?
Sea urchin. Well, unless the group's good like meat, I usually put like a joke kind of one in the seed spot. like Brussels sprouts and the vegetables, as you can see. It's kind of small, but
I've been tipped off to another incredible one that's been left off.
The three that I got a lot of hate for was brisket, was one of them, mostly you. Big one was fried chicken and macaroni and cheese.
Not bacon?
Bacon made it.
Where the hell is bacon?
Breakfast.
Oh.
It's in the breakfast region. It made it. That's my favorite. Actually, you want a fun fact? That's my pick to win it all.
All right, fair enough. Okay.
That's my pick to win it all. Number one seed in the breakfast. And
I got a lot of problems with avocado being up there instead of, say, like peach or mango.
Well, you got to keep in mind. So,
I mean,
I usually come up sometime in the middle of the summer. I come up with a topic. I'm like, this is what I'm going to do next March. And so throughout that whole time when I come up with the topic,
the amount of controversy
we've been doing this best
year.
food since last summer. And, whenever I think of a food, I write it down in my Word Google Docs. And, as the year goes on, maybe towards Christmas, I start putting together to see what kind of regions and bracket we're going to do. But early thought for next year, not to get ahead of ourselves, early thought for next year, maybe best animal.
Mm-hmm. All right.
But that's next year. This year, so it's 3 weeks long. I wrote the schedule out, so I know how it's going to work. And it's going to be 3 weeks, and it'll be done. The championship will be on the Final Four day.
All right. And then let's take a look at the bottom half of the bracket here.
Let's hear your thoughts.
So grains, breakfast, desserts, and then the wild card region. I look, Nick. I why is pizza and grains and calzone as well?
Because
they're not true grains.
I know they're not true grains, but the breading out of it's kind of like the World Baseball Classic.
Sure.
Technically, we can play for Italy because of our ancestors. So
I don't think that's how that works, but okay.
I'm pretty sure you can play for Italy if you're got some Italy in you. And
well, great. I can go coach them then because my playing days have been well beyond.
Basically,
when you bet 100 literally is your last full season batting average of organized ball, I think that bridge is past, Nick.
So pizza and calzone have bread in them, clearly. So I have given that enough thought, and that is good enough to make the grains region.
Okay. All right, I can.
Now, here's the thing about this bracket. You see,
I would probably put cereal in grains than before breakfast.
Well, when you see
probably toast as well because that's bread. But
it's breakfast.
I don't know.
The desserts one is where most of these foods you see on here.
I feel like dessert. Probably have the least amount of gripe with in a weird way.
Well, everyone loves desserts.
Except for fruitcake. Fruitcake, you could come up with a better 8 seed than fruitcake.
But
who did fruitcake beat? Who are their quad 1 wins?
Once again, Paul, I told you I do sometimes, not all the time. Like toast is a good one, but most of the time the 8 seed is mostly a joke.
But who are their quad 1 wins?
They beat fudge.
What?
It was an upset.
Oh, geez, fudge.
Pudding. But I just want to clarify that foods are tough because you see pizza up there, right?
Sure.
There's tons of different pizzas in the world.
That's a good point. Breakfast pizza.
And I wanted to get pizza in. Yeah, pizza could have been in the breakfast. But pizza is just so popular, it had to make the bracket.
True.
So when you vote, think of the idea of pizza.
The
idea of cereal, because there's so many different types of cereal. The idea of eggs. But then you get to the desserts, you're thinking, well, Nick,
I also want to know,
Nick, you got apple pie and pumpkin pie. Why not just pie? Because that is one of the greatest rivalries in food history, and it has to be on display. And that's where you see pumpkin pie, apple pie. And ice cream cake it's just so popular, I had to put that in there too. So, yeah, so if you're wondering that. And then I think one of the more biggest rivalries has to be the 4-5 in the breakfast pancakes versus
Yeah,
waffles.
that's a tough one.
That is Duke, North Carolina of food.
I'm going waffle, but yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah, so brisket did not make it. It's official, Paul.
Absolutely.
I've heard
killer.
enough hate on the mac and cheese, but I want to come out and make a statement about mac and cheese and fried chicken.
Sure.
Not really brisket, but mac and cheese and fried chicken.
Go ahead. Hold on. There we go. Go ahead. Make your statement.
Make my statement.
I don't want any part of this.
I forgot about them.
Wow.
I made the bracket.
Boo.
And a couple days later, I'm thinking, oh, snap. I forgot about mac and cheese and fried chicken. And I don't feel too bad about the fried chicken because I got chicken wings and chicken wing dip.
It's true.
So I'm not too bad. We got enough chicken. Mac and cheese. Any mac and cheese lover out there, I am sorry. You should be in the field. But if this is anything like the real tournament, we talk about mac and cheese this week. But once the field gets going, you forget all about mac and cheese. So I apologize to any mac and cheese lovers out there. You should be in the field. I am deeply sorry. But who's your favorite?
If I had to pick a favorite,
Clearly not steak.
see, there's some interesting seedings here that could lend for upsets. For instance, broccoli's going to beat Brussels sprouts, but I don't think it would beat carrots or guacamole. And I'm not a guacamole guy. But that's another thing, too. Why is guacamole in vegetable, but avocado and fruit?
I Googled. Google told me avocado is a fruit and guacamole is a vegetable.
But guacamole is made from avocado.
It's too late.
Another one too. I feel like French fries probably are gonna win. French fries I hate them. I'm not putting them beyond the first round, but I know the way the general consensus of the American public is. French fries or pickles got to be the favorite out of the vegetable.
Yes.
One
thing I will say.
Sure.
If coleslaw beats French fries in the first round, the bracket is not ending.
Yeah. I feel like lobster, crab. Well, I love crab legs and calamari, but that's a potential upset, that 2-7 matchup in the seafood bracket. Potential. I don't know if it will happen, but it's potential. Pizza obviously out of the grains.
I would say in that grain bracket,
I think dessert for the most part is probably going to be a toss-up outside of fruitcake.
The grains though, 6-seeded popcorn, I think it's a sleeper.
That's an yeah, but they got a tough draw in the first round against lasagna.
Yeah.
Wild card lends itself to interesting potentials. Taco sushi potentially in the second round's tough for each one. It just is.
Sushi's a sleeper.
Yeah. Mozzarella stick jalapeno. That's a good 4-5 as well. The mozzie stick jalapeno popper matchup.
I got a good mozz sticks would win.
I don't know. I'm voting for mozz sticks, but I do love jalapeno poppers. A lot of good matchups, Nick. Look, I'll say this.
You haven't said anything about granola bars.
Well, they're going. You're lucky that they're going up against turkey. I think in a weird way that might be an upset.
Now you gotta keep in mind, I've been doing this. This is my fourth time I've done a bracket. 8 has never beaten the 1.
Really? I think you might see. I think we might see it this year potentially. I don't think it. I don't think so.
Never beaten the 1.
All right.
Should be fun.
Yeah.
Got a lot of good love. A lot of hate from it in the last 24 hours, but hey, I think
overall you hit I think 90% got a true vote in.
Now you got to keep in mind, this is
Sure.
my bracket, but I do some these are not my favorite foods. I do it so I think it would be popular. I left one of my favorite foods off this bracket, and that is onion rings. I'm so disappointed.
Wow.
I left them off the bracket, but
are they really? Oh, yeah, they are. Wow.
They didn't make it. I was very disappointed in that. That just didn't have any room for them.
Nick, how dare you?
But
how dare you?
Should be good.
Yeah. All right. That wraps up the show for the week. Appreciate everybody for listening, tuning in, whenever you are. Nick, who are you shouting out?
Shout out my Aunt Sheila. It's her birthday.
Happy birthday.
Sunday. Jack DeRue's mom, so if anyone knows him. Her birthday is Sunday. Selection Sunday. Clocks go back this week?
Spring forward.
Or no, go forward.
It's spring forward, Nick.
Go
Spring
forward.
forward.
We gain an hour of sunlight
More sun.
at night.
Yay!
So I'm looking forward to that. But
I'm so
shout out Aunt
excited.
Sheila. Happy birthday on Sunday. Hope you're doing well.
Same.
I like that sweatshirt, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you. Hopefully we have news about that. Good news.
Was that Red Wings you're wearing?
This is a Red Wings hat. Yep. Mhm. And the hoodie is a baseball is fun hoodie.
It was fun.
It still is. Nobody said anything about Major League Baseball being fun. All right. Anyway, thanks everybody for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, all the fun stuff. And we'll catch you next week on the Fresh Takes podcast with Russo and Felice.